In this video, I'm going to teach you 3 life lessons that I've learned since training Muay Thai. You can actually bring these into every walk of life. So even if you're not interested in martial arts, so this video you can still learn a lot from. Number 3 especially is the big one. Tell you my story. Apologies, it is windy, so my hair is going to go crazy in this video. So yeah, laugh at me all you want. My story, just to begin with, I never actually trained a martial art up until the end of January, where I trained for 1 week in North Thailand, training Muay Thai for the first time. Obviously, I just did it for the experience. I also had an intrigue in learning to fight, so it just seemed right. And I can't lie, when I first started training, I was absolutely shit. I'll put the B-roll footage of it right now, of how I was when I first started. But in that week of training 4 hours a day in North Thailand, I improved by 1%. One of the best life lessons I've learned from doing that is you can literally start anything in life and improve. For me, obviously it was learning to fight. But a life lesson that I learned from that week up in Pai is that I could start anything in life. If I can progress in a sport like Muay Thai, which is very difficult, learning to fight, one of the scariest, brutal martial arts in the world. If I can improve in this, I could start anything and improve. Which I brought into this YouTube video, really. My YouTube, I only started doing YouTube a few months ago, and I've brought it into this as well. I have that mindset with this, I have the mindset in life, I have that mindset with anything. I try and instill that mindset into other people, you know, because I come across a lot of people in life and they want to start that business, and you go, yeah, do it then. And they go, oh, I can do, but I just need the right time. I've got this and this and this to do first. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, just do it, because that is where the momentum builds, and that is how you improve, by doing it. Because I wanted to learn to fight in England for many months and many years, and I always had this mindset as well of, oh, I want to do it, but X, Y, Z. And one of life's lessons that I've learned from that is having the belief to improve in anything and taking action and just doing it. That is where you improve. And the second lesson that I learned from training Muay Thai is the art of discipline. And I've always known this, but Muay Thai is a perfect example of how the practice of discipline, what is going to make you improve as a fighter and as a person. Because there are going to be days where your body's sore. There are going to be days where you don't want to do it. As with everything in life, there are going to be days where you don't want to go to the gym. But to practice discipline when training Muay Thai is a complete different level. When your body's sore, you really don't want to do it. You don't want to do them leg kicks. You don't want to do the ab workout at the end of the session. But to train and callous your mind into doing tasks that you don't want to do, to act in a way of who you want to become, rather acting in the feelings in the present moment, is a great thing to practice. And discipline is that to a T. And to practice it in Muay Thai in the most difficult way, you're doing things every day that you come comfortable with. You're doing things when you're rubbish at it, you don't know how to do it. But to go to the gym every day and just work on yourself, practice, is huge. It is what is gonna make you improve. To practice things that you're uncomfortable with, to do things when you don't want to do them, when your body's sore. It's the only way you improve. It's the only way you improve in anything. Discipline will get you where motivation can't. Motivation only lasts you a few weeks, it might last you a month. But discipline is the art of doing it every day, waking up every day with the intent of pursuing the tasks, even if you don't feel like doing it. You get up, you get out of bed, and you do it anyway. I'm saying this about martial arts and fighting and Muay Thai, but this is a life lesson for everything. Wake up, try your best, regardless of how you feel. Because if you're a person who acts how they feel, you're going to be an emotional person who isn't going to get anything done. Because the truth is, the best fighters, the most successful people in the world, they are disciplined. They turn up and they try their best, regardless of if they don't feel like it. Because that is how successful people feel, and that is how they act, and it's the truth. And usually, if you're not disciplined in one thing, it usually bleeds into every walk of your life. Be disciplined in one thing and let it snowball into everything that you do. Because at the end of the day, growth comes from discomfort, and discipline is needed to overcome and to do the things that you're uncomfortable with. So both of those lessons really, discomfort before growth, and the art of discipline is what you practice in Muay Thai. So obviously that's 2 lessons in one, but I'm going to treat it as one. I mean, this could be another lesson altogether, but to do things that you're uncomfortable with, that is the only thing, it's the only way you grow from the resistance. And I have that in every walk of life now. Every time I click post on a YouTube video, every time I click post on an Instagram reel, every time I go into the gym and do something I'm not uncomfortable with, after it, you feel a sense of growth, that you brought down that barrier of caring what people think. You brought down the barrier of doing things you're uncomfortable with in the gym. It all bleeds into everything. Obviously, this is just what I'm doing right now, but anything, like, I treat that with anything. If I have that thing in my head that, I shouldn't do this, it's a bit uncomfortable, you got to break down that barrier and do it. You know, when another example with content is, obviously I made the Thailand blueprint a few months back, and I actually posted it on my LinkedIn and I posted it on Facebook because I wanted to break down that barrier, knowing that I don't care what people think. You know, wear yourself on your sleeve and be proud of who you are. Obviously, this is going a bit off topic in terms of Muay Thai, but I'm just talking to you about one of my situations here, which I think is relevant. You know, in the back of my head, I was like, I don't want to post on Facebook because, as soon as I had that mindset, as soon as I had that thing of, I don't want to do it, it made me realize that I should do it because I'm going to break down a barrier that I once had. And once you overcome that barrier, you realize anything is possible. And when you do it, you realize that that barrier that you had is just a mental barrier that you had. It's what I talk about in the Thailand blueprint. It's breaking down the barrier of overcoming your limiting beliefs, booking that flight, coming, you know, be financially disciplined, everything. It all is linked together very closely, you know, in what I teach in the blueprint. But do things that are uncomfortable, things that in the back of your head that you have fear of. Do it anyway. Do it if you're tired. Wake up and do it if you're unmotivated. Do it if you don't want to do it. That is where real growth does happen. And it's facts. Taking action, it's what people are scared to do because they have these fears of other people, they have fears of blah, blah, blah. And it's why people don't start things like Muay Thai and learning to fight. It's because it is difficult and you are going to suck at the start. But at the end of the day, you starting anything, you are going to suck at the start. You starting that new business, you starting Muay Thai, you starting a new hobby, you are going to suck at the start and you've got to accept it. But the only way to improve is by taking the action and doing it anyway. And this is linked to Muay Thai. But this is the life lesson for everything. This is why I'm talking about it. If you've got that one thing in the back of your stomach that you want to do, but you're scared to do it because you're going to suck, let's be honest, like if you don't do it and try, you're always going to suck at it. If you started 6 months ago, you would have had 6 months of progress, but you didn't start because you had this feeling that you're going to suck. You are going to suck, you're going to be bad at the start. But the second best time to start is now. Whatever it is that you want to do, whether it's Muay Thai, obviously for me it's Muay Thai, for you, it could be completely different. But in 6 months' time, you could either be in the same position right now where you've not started, or you can start and have 6 months of progress. My question to you is, would you rather have 6 months of progress, or would you rather have 6 months of excuses, 6 months of not taking action and being in the exact same place? Because, you know, time is gonna pass anyway, and there is no right time. There's only time and what you do with it. And why not just do it today? Do it now. Do you wanna live a life of taking no action and just living a life and letting life pass you by? Or do you wanna just actually take action, improving it? Because you'll have the same mindset shifts. You will have the same things that I'm talking about now with Muay Thai, with whatever you're putting off. You not taking the action is gonna keep you in the same place, and your fear of sucking at the start, your fear of other people's judgment is holding you back from your wildest dreams. Whether it is the fear of judgment, whether it is the fear of sucking at the start, these fears, you've got to overcome them by taking action. You've got to do it because, or else you're just going to stay stagnant and stay in the same place for the rest of your life. But yeah, I've gone off on a tangent there. It's all linked from me training Muay Thai to a life lesson for everyone. I've lived it, I've experienced it. And this is why I'm doing this video, because hopefully I've said something that sparks your interest and spark that desire to just be like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna start now. Action I don't mean take action and do everything all at once. Taking action could just be the first step. Because for me, like me starting at the end of January doing a week, that was just the first baby step into the art of learning to fight. In fact, it was even before that. It was actually turning up and booking it and saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it. That's all it takes, that penny drop moment. And it could be to do with your health. You know, it could be anything. You know what? I've had enough of how I look. I'm gonna start today. And it doesn't have to be a massive action. It could just be, you know what? Next time I go shopping, I'm gonna purchase healthier foods. That's all it takes, that one little small action. And then taking that action is gonna build momentum. And then that is where results happen. Results don't happen from straight away. They take time, but it all starts with action. It all starts from the mind and believing you can do it and just being like, you know what? Let's start today, because in 6 months, I don't want to be the same person I am now. I want to change my life. That is how you create big results. But yeah, again, sorry for the tangent, but it's all linked very well with life. But yeah, they are 3 life lessons I've learned. I'm gonna do the taking action and putting yourself in uncomfortable situations as the 3rd lesson, because it definitely is a very good lesson. because I've experienced it. I've experienced it from the Muay Thai, which I then brought into my transformation, my fitness transformation, which I've then brought into making YouTube. Although they are very different, they all have the same lesson of taking action and improving and putting yourself through uncomfortable situations. Because me, I'm at the beach right now recording, and I'm gonna edit this video and I'm gonna post it for the whole world. That is uncomfortable. That in the back of my head, I'm thinking, that is uncomfortable. But because I brought down that barrier when I posted the Thailand blueprint on my LinkedIn, on my Facebook, on my Instagram, posted it on TikTok, posted it everywhere. I brought down that barrier. So now this is just easy. It all comes from actually breaking down the barrier of other people's judgment, of sucking at the start and just turning up and doing it every day. Because this is what I'm doing it in Muay Thai, and I'm technically doing it with YouTube and content creation. I'm breaking down the barrier, turn up, do it anywhere, regardless of how you feel, and you improve every day. And it's how every person starts. Every successful person starts in the same boat. They start from the bottom, they're rubbish at the start, they've improved. The only difference is that they turn up every day when they don't feel like it. They're consistent and they take action. They don't care what people think, and they turn up and with the mindset to improve, and they're humble enough to start, they're humble enough to admit when they're doing wrong. They self-reflect, they improve, they turn up every day. And that is the only difference between you now versus the person that you can be and the person that you will be, because you are going to take action. And yeah, thank you for watching. Hopefully I've inspired you in some sort of way. Let me know if you disagree with anything. Let me know if you agree with anything, because I'm an open book. I'm very humble if I'm wrong. If you disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. But if you've trained a martial art, let me know what you've learned from it. What life lessons have you learned from it? Because there are a lot of life lessons you learn from training a martial art that you can bring in every walk of life. And yeah, thanks for listening. Much love. Check out the beach today. It's beautiful. Have a lovely day. This is my Sunday right now. I'll probably post this tomorrow. But yeah, have a good one.